Shabbat Shalom. This is Rabbi Dr. Carrie Tuling. This week in my sermon, I'm talking about Shabbat, the need to take a pause, to take a break, to have some unstructured time, to not work continuously without stopping. And that's important. In our culture, we have this intensity. We have this idea that you have to be busy continuously. We have this idea that the one who has the most full schedule is the most important. And the problem with that is that we're not built that way. We're not created that way. We actually need to rest. And in fact, in this week's portion is the idea that the land itself needs to rest. It needs to take a year off once every 7 years. That's actually really difficult to accomplish because it means that, of course, that you have to store up grain and you have to make arrangements well in advance to make sure that you're okay. I mean, granted, you would be able to eat whatever the land produced in that year anyway, but it wouldn't be the same. You wouldn't get as much stuff. And so plans would need to be put in place. And so one of the messages that I would take away from this week's portion is this idea that it's actually necessary to plan to rest, that resting is not something that just happens, but rather resting is something that you need to carve out a space for. So I hope that you, in the coming week, take some time to have a little bit of downtime, that you think about how am I observing Shabbat in my life? Am I making time for classes, for services, for experiences that aren't involving working? Am I finding ways to connect with my family? Shabbat Shalom.